Ladies and gentlemen, to introduce the President of the United States, please welcome Ms. Ursula Barnes and the board members of Change the Equation.
Welcome. Secretary Duncan and the other leaders in education here, chief executive officers of many of America's leading corporations, students, to all of you here who care deeply about science, technology, engineering, and math education in America's public schools, it is my pleasure to welcome you to this event. I'd like to give a special welcome to my colleagues, the 5 other business leaders who join me as board members of Change the Equation and our new CEO. Please raise your hand when I call your name, and then we'll hold the applause and give you all a joint welcome. First, Craig Barrett, former chairman of Intel and now chairman of Change the Equation. Sally Ride, former astronaut, isn't that cool to say? Former astronaut and now chair of Sally Ride Science and vice chair of Change the Equation. Glenn Britt, the CEO of Time Warner Cable. Antonio Perez, the CEO of Eastman Kodak. Rex Tillerson, the CEO of ExxonMobil, and Linda Rosen, the CEO of Change the Equation. Today marks the end of the beginning of a major and long-term effort to change the equation in STEM education. This is critical work. A world-class economy depends on a world-class workforce, and a world-class workforce depends on world-class education system. If we want a robust economy fueled by an educated workforce, we must invest in our schools and in our students. It is as simple and as hard as that. Nowhere is this more urgent than in STEM education. America is falling behind. We need more scientists, engineers, and innovators. One obvious place to start is in the grossly underrepresented segments of minorities and women. I'm living proof that a nudge in the right direction and an internship at the right company can make all the difference. When I was growing up in the public housing projects in New York City, being an engineer was not on the radar screen. A few timely interventions changed all of that. I became a mechanical engineer, joined Xerox as an intern, and the rest, as I say, is history. We need to geometrically expand those interventions and to ensure every American student who has the ability and the desire to become a scientist or engineer can fulfill that dream. The members of Change the Equation know how to do this, and the President has asked us to take what we know and to scale it and leverage it so that we can once again be at the top of the pack in math and science. We're off to a fast start, and we are here today to commit to staying on course. I know I speak for all of us assembled here today when I thank the President for his leadership on education in general and on STEM education in particular. As with so many of his initiatives, he is keeping his eye on making our society more just and putting our economy back on a growth trajectory. We're proud to be a small part of this big effort. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to introduce to you a great champion for education reform, the President of the United States, President Barack Obama.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Please have a seat. Thank you very much. Thank you to Ursula and all the board members here. We are so excited about this initiative, and I want everybody to also know that I've got one of the finest secretaries of education, I think, in the history of this country, and Arnie Duncan, and he is excited about it as well. So I hope you don't mind, before I begin, I just want to comment on a vote that just took place a little while ago in Congress. I want to thank the Senate for finally passing the Small Business Jobs Bill that had been held up for months by partisan delay. It's going to make a difference in millions of small business owners across the country who are going to benefit from tax breaks and additional lending so companies have the capital to grow and hire, and this is really welcome news. Now, these tax breaks and loans are going to help create jobs in the short term. But the reason all of us are here, companies large and small, is to talk about an issue with far-reaching consequences for our economy in the long run, and that's the education of our children. It's an incredibly impressive gathering that we have here. We've got dozens of leaders from the business community who are part of today's announcement. We're joined by talented and enterprising students. Where are the students? Raise your hands. Yeah, we're very proud of you guys. We have some passionate and dedicated teachers. Teachers, raise your hands. Proud of you. I want to recognize all the members of Congress who are with us, as well as the top scientists from my administration, including my science advisor, John Holdren, who's here. Where's John? There he is right there, as well as and in addition, we've got, and this is obviously the coolest thing, we've got two trailblazing astronauts in Sally Ride and Mae Jemison who are here. So we are just honored to have all of you here at the White House. We're here for a simple reason. Everybody in this room understands that our nation's success depends on strengthening America's role as the world's engine of discovery and innovation. And all the CEOs who are here today understand that their company's future depends on their ability to harness the creativity and dynamism and insight of a new generation. And that leadership tomorrow depends on how we educate our students today, especially in science, technology, engineering, and math. We know how important this is for our health. It's important for our security. It's important for our environment. And we know how important it is for our economy. As I discussed this morning with my export council, our prosperity in the 21st century global marketplace depends on our ability to compete with nations around the world. And we are never going to win that competition by paying the lowest wages or simply by trying to offer the cheapest products. We're going to win by offering the most innovative products. We're going to win by doing what we do best, which is harnessing the talents and ingenuity of our people to lead the world in new industries. That's how we can create millions of new jobs, exporting more of our goods around the world. Now, as any one of the scientists, CEOs, and teachers here will tell you, this kind of innovation isn't born in the boardroom or on the factory floor. It doesn't begin in a basement workshop or a research laboratory. That's where the payoff happens, but it starts long before. It starts in a classroom. It starts when a child learns that every star in the night sky is another sun. When a young girl swells with accomplishment after solving a tough math problem. When a boy builds a model rocket and watches it soar. When an eager student peers through a microscope and discovers a whole new world. It's in these moments that a young person may discover a talent or a passion that might lead to a career. It's in these moments every day that our nation, or our promise as a nation, is realized. And it is in these moments that we see why a quality science and math education matters, why it is absolutely critical to us. Now, despite the importance of education in these subjects, in recent years we have been outpaced by our competitors. There is no disputing that. One assessment shows American 15-year-olds ranked 21st in science and 25th in math when compared to their peers around the world. Yet for years, we've failed to address this challenge. There's been some talk about it. There have been some white papers and some reports about it. But we haven't solved it. And instead, we've oftentimes gotten into tired arguments traded across old divides. And parents and students and teachers have been basically left to accept that mediocrity was the best that America could do. And we've got some islands of excellence, but we assume that we can't